beating these boys to sleep. See if we got anybody on yet. Nope, not yet. We got one, unless that's you.
I'm about to share it.
Okay. I'm going to share it too. That I need to do.
I look so goofy.
Okay. I'm going to share it too. That I need to do. Okay. I'm going to share it too. And more sitting here too. All right, we there, man. We there.
Okay. The lag is.
Huh?
I was looking. I think there's a lag, but it ain't too bad.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the STS Stanley Tarver Show. Let's hear. We got esteemed content creator, podcaster extraordinaire, Mr. Ivor Williams, in the building tonight. So, Ivor Williams, I'd like for you to tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, because we ain't going to tell everybody nothing about us for real. Just give them a little bit about you.
My name is Ivor Williams. I am a Ramsey High School graduate, a Miles College graduate, and
BSc, HBCU. Okay.
And a concerned citizen.
There you go. What we concerned about, though, Ivor? What we concerned about today?
Man, this all started, the whole idea about us doing this podcast started because I put out a so-called hit list of people I was going to say something about. And, you know, just to be quite honest, you know, I'm being melodramatic, you know, right. I really ain't got nothing to say about them folk. I got a little bit to say about a couple of folk. Okay. I got a lot to say about two people in particular.
Well,
but here again, this all started. I'm constantly going back and forth through social media, and I make it a point to cull the herd, if you will. You know, I want to know who I'm communicating with. I look to see who's on the friends list, this, and the other. And people who, I mean, character assassinate me are the same people that are on my friends list with different names and sometimes their own name. Like, what somebody has to say about me is none of my business. And first of all, I'm not talking about people like that. If you are not an elected official, if you are not somebody in an elected position or in a quasi-government such as the Waterworks Board or something like that, I don't have anything to say about you. You're irrelevant to me.
Exactly.
And my point is simply that, you know, no matter how much I try to push it away, people are going to say stuff. People are going to tell me stuff. So I hear about these people talking about me, but yet I see them following me on social media. I don't know if they're trying to catch me in something or whatever, but
Right.
let's go all the way back.
Okay.
The two people I'm really referring to the most here are Martez Files and Eric Hall.
Right.
Now, years ago, years and years ago, when I was amongst the activist community and working with these two
Right.
individuals and others, Martez lied on me and had the whole Black Lives Matter group ticked off with me about something I never said or did.
You know what?
Now,
You know what, Mr. Williams? That name Martell's Files, it keeps spinning in my atmosphere. Also, I don't know him. I just see a lot of quasi BS that he puts out that don't have relevance to nothing that I feel. But go ahead.
well, one of the things, you know, that kind of separated us, you know, aside from this lie, is the simple fact that, to your point, those people think very differently than I do, right?
Right.
They are truly socialists. These are people who believe in, you know, a system of government that we just don't live in. They,
Right.
they're consistent. They're like that as it relates to the federal government, state government, local government. But you know, I just don't. I believe in economic development. I believe in education. I believe in people having the opportunity to lift themselves up. Not the government is there to pick you up every time. But nevertheless, back to the point. Literally, this man has no problem with me. He
Right.
has no issue with me. He is the one that is constantly doing obnoxious stuff, such as, you know, they all have a big problem with the mayor, of course.
Right.
They have an issue with his politics, and they have an issue with him personally.
Now
So,
let's stop right there. Why would they have an issue? Because is it because he won't do what they want him to do, or is it deeper than that?
as far as I know, they just bump heads as it relates to um, government spending,
Okay.
how the budget is distributed. They want more money given to the neighborhoods and nonprofit organizations, and they have these asks for these big programs,
Mm-hmm.
but none of them have the certifications. None of them have the 501c3s or whatever that the city has set up. Or maybe they don't get as much money as they want. I
So in
don't
other
know
words,
what.
their paperwork ain't right.
Well, I don't know if it is or if it isn't, but
Okay.
that's where I was going with that. The fact that a lot of, and not just these people we're talking about now, there are a lot of people who just think the mayor should open a checkbook and give them money because they claim to be working in the neighborhoods, and that's just not how it goes.
Right.
So back to the case in point, we got to where the mayor dropped, well, what's the name of it? The South Got Something to Say. The movie came out with the mayor in it,
Right.
Martez in it, and he literally tore into the mayor on social media the days before, the
Right.
days after. And here again, I don't follow them.
Right.
I don't, this is when we were even communicating on social media. I don't follow them because I keep that out of my sight. Well, as soon as he attacks the mayor, you know how I am. That's over. I'm blocking that. And then literally, he had sung my praises earlier in the day. I block him for something he did, and he turns around and attacks me. Then he and Eric Hall, they're friends. I worked with them years ago. I really don't have a problem with these people. They have a problem with me. Like they don't occupy the space in my head that they think they do.
Right.
Because I'm on my own thing. I'm not trying to, paint this picture where, I don't, I'm immune. I'm saying I just remove myself from stuff. I stay out of that. Now, if and when they attach themselves to a candidate, if your candidate is lined up against my candidate, you got to understand, you signing up for war as far as I'm concerned.
All gloves are off.
All gloves are off. And so, people react and respond to something I may have said about their candidate. My skin is tough, but that's the reality of it.
Now,
I don't say anything about these people. I don't care about these people. But when I go off on their candidates, that's when they attack me. And I just wanted to.
Get it on.
I never tell my side of the story. I don't care to tell my side of the story.
Right.
But as we go into this election season, I just wanted to put that part of my story out so that people understand, I don't want to communicate with those people. And Cara McClure can vouch for this.
I spoke with Cara the other night. I spoke with her the other night.
On the phone when they call themselves trying to catch me up. Cara can and me and Cara been fine ever since until here again. She starts attacking the mayor. Have I said a word about Cara?
Nope.
No. I just turned that off because I don't want to see it. I don't want to be upset with somebody. And so I keep that out of my mind.
I ran Eric Hall is not family, but he's family to me. He took a stance. He saw what I was doing. Wanda Gavan, I don't want her in politics in the state of Alabama no more. So he went against the grain, started coming at me, started doing little stuff at you last year, and I feel like this. Friendship politics ain't worth a damn when we got black and white to show what these people do not represent our interests. So with that light being shown, and I can show it in black and white, are we dealing with people that don't give a damn about the politics? They just love the person?
Well, let me back out and say that unfortunately, that's usually the case.
Right.
People don't take the time to check on voting records. People don't take the time to find out what somebody stands on. People vote predominantly for who they like, for who they know, for who they, the name they're familiar with, the person that bought the most ads, instead of paying attention to really what these people are about. Now, like to the point you made with regards to State Representative Wanda Gavan, you have any and everyone has a right to support somebody one day,
right,
and choose to support someone else the next.
okay,
And as it relates to Wandalin Gavan, there was a time when I was 100% behind Wandalin Gavan. There were times I was with Wandalin when nobody was. But it's time for somebody else. There comes a time where, I don't know, maybe we get a little drunk with power.
right,
You know, I don't know what the case may be. Sometimes there are medical issues, whatever the case. But Wandalin Gavan, the Wandalin Gavan that I see today is not the Wandalin Gavan that I supported when she was running successfully for state representative. And I tell you where exactly things fractured, literally with me and her and with Scales, was over them running against the mayor.
right.
Literally. And the craziest thing about both of them, I hope somebody shows this to them, because I never said anything, but I felt them trying to warm me up. I knew exactly what was going on when at that time they were communicating heavily with me. What do you think your boy gonna do? And da 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 da. I have never ever swayed. I fought with you about Randall Lee Woodford. you know what I'm saying?
You did.
That's my, hey, that has been, his family and I have been connected at the hip at our church since he was a little bitty boy.
Right.
I was his big sister's youth director. He was up under us. So, you know, the thing was, I made it clear to them. I made it crystal clear. You ain't gonna have no problems with me as long as you run a clean campaign, as long as you don't start lying on it.
But what did
Both
they
of
do?
them, and if you don't do that, I don't have anything to say to you. If you're running on, you know, what you have to say, and you have a different set of priorities, that's how you campaign. That's how you get out there and say, you know, the current mayor is spending money on these types of things. I want to get the money to Martez Files and Eric Hall so they can carry it in the community. And then we vote on the person who we want to get behind. That's how that works. That's how it's supposed to work. But, you know, I don't know. I'll just say it like this. You know, these people are liars. These people will sit up and tell you one thing and go do another. I am not holier than thou. I just remind people I'm not running for nothing.
Right.
My name ain't on nobody's ballot. They shouldn't be worried about what I got to say.
You know.
But the truth remains that when I have something to say about these candidates, it's the truth. I have documented truth that I'm putting out, whether people like it or not. Now, you know, am I going to attach a funny meme to it or a little AI to make everybody laugh?
Yeah, we do.
Probably.
We do.
But the facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. And read what I put. Nobody has ever doubted or called me wrong on the facts that I put out about these people, how they voted, the things that they've done, legal challenges that they have. And I have a right to put that stuff out there because they are running for office.
It's public knowledge.
It's public knowledge.
And that's my point. I'm gonna stay on one nigga band because she got a plethora of bills. It's early in the campaign season right now. I'm gonna slowly start bringing them out like I did last year. We're gonna get her. My plan is to get her out of politics in Alabama. Now, you talked about Eric Hall and Martez Files. I saw when Eric Hall went to jail and got out. Now he mad about the living conditions in a jail. This not the Ritz-Carlton. You don't go there to get preferential treatment and get your nails done. You in jail. You in lockup. You sleep on the floor on the cot. Can't be beating your boyfriend up to go to jail. You can't do that. I mean, these politicians are so privy to so much information, but they feel like they're above us. And I don't care who put that step on. I'm telling you like I see it. Jail is jail. Eric Hall, you dirty. You dirty. I seen what you've done. I've seen the move that you've made, but you dirty. You ran for office last time. You got beat. Don't run no more. You and Martez 5, y'all go get y'all little hacienda villa in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We don't need to see y'all no more in Alabama. That's what y'all need to do. Get y'all hacienda. Cause y'all ain't got no weight, bro. Y'all ain't got no weight. Black Lives Matter. Well, Black Lives Matter. I say this about Black Lives Matter. When Cara separated from Black Lives Matter Birmingham, y'all are no longer relevant. And I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say it with my chest. Y'all are no longer relevant. Y'all ain't got no weight no more. You know what?
Well, now let me tell you why, when you go way back, the reason they're relevant to me has always been just simply when we out here experiencing black on black crime in our community, they're nowhere to be found.
No, them niggas over there at Walmart set it on fire.
The only time they have something to say is when it's a police involved shooting. And when this all jumped off, I supported that. I still support that idea. But it's when when that's all you care about and you claim all of these things. I'm not going to even go into the financial stuff.
Right.
That I'm just saying, just on principle, we talk about the pro-life, pro-choice argument, and people always talk about, well, you really not for life if you're not for the whole life. I say the same thing about Black Lives Matter. Right. If you don't care about young black men and or women being shot and killed in our communities, either you care or you don't. It shouldn't matter who did the crime. Right. So that's why I separated from them a long way back. But now, to your point, Cara has done great work.
Extraordinary.
Eric and Martez have done great work, and they have worked on, like, I kind of disagree with you, like on the jail thing. Sometimes we don't see stuff until we're exposed to stuff, and that's how we become an advocate for stuff. Okay. And so he saw something, he wants to make that change. That's something I can get behind. I'm with that. We've talked about jail reform and all that kind of stuff. Right. Yeah, we need programs, but those people do need facilities as well. It should not be cruel and unusual. But here again, I'm not tied to people. I just don't like people like that, because y'all change up too much. Right. I am able to work on an issue with a person, to advance whatever, and then push away from the table, and I don't have anything else to talk to you about. They're not able to do that. They got to cut you back out, lie on you, talk about you, tell people you did something you didn't do, whatever the case may be,
right,
to assassinate your character. Man, mind your business. Like I mind mine.
Listen, Mr. 22/7. Watch this. Watch this, Mr.
What you
3...
know about 22/7?
3.14? Now watch this right here. We mentioned Kara McClure. One thing that I saw her, and I liked the way she was moving. She was going down there and getting these black women out of the jail every month. Every month. You ain't see Files or Hall down there doing that. Now, Carl has moved all the way over to Taiwan. Watch her spring a Black Lives Matter Taiwan up. So that's how powerful she is. She got to give a gab. Now, respect her for it. But in Alabama, we don't listen to politics. We don't read. We don't understand. And it's right there in our faces. Most of this stuff, Eric Hall, he's an advocate. I'm not going to give him nothing. I ain't going to take nothing from him. He's an advocate, but he's not a leader. He's not a leader. He can't lead. So Martez, he wants to get his name out there. He does great things too, but he's not a leader. They need somebody in front of them to guide them. I don't know who the next person going to be, but they're not the ones. What you think about that?
Well, I have to agree with you. I mean, it's like, you run for office and 2-3 times and people don't vote for you.
Right.
You have a platform on social media and people don't really get behind you.
Right.
It's always the same clique. And so to your point, if you can't bring different people together, if you can't bring people to your platform,
right,
if it's always the same exact people every time, no, you're not a leader.
And
you may have a
about
message.
the damn mayor.
Huh?
And it's always about our mayor. What do you have in
Always
your chest that we could talk about besides the mayor? Can you talk about things that you can do that the mayor ain't doing that you can substantiate and grow the city? And then maybe the mayor might be getting behind you, but y'all ain't growing. You staying stagnant, going down, talking about one subject, the mayor.
And the thing is, and I make this a point all the time. The mayor and I do not agree. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we don't agree on,
right,
as it relates to how much he puts in the budget for the types of services that these guys advocate for. If it were me, it'd be cut in half.
Right.
Because I just don't believe that's what government dollars are for. When the government dollar is spent, everybody should be able to take advantage of it. The government shouldn't know your name.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's another conversation for another day.
You know what? Mr. 22, I'm gonna say this, man. I got a question. And what do you think about Urban Academy?
I can't stand them. I can't. That is the bane of my existence as it relates to the mayor's priorities as it for the homeless community. I think that their supposed quick reaction thing when somebody's in crisis,
it's like a mediator between them and the police.
Yeah, from what I've heard, they do a good job. They do a good job of de-escalating things, being intermediaries for things. But the type of money we're spending and giving them just to do that successfully, it's not enough of them. They do still rely on the police heavily. And a lot of this could be curbed, in my opinion, if we stopped making this a welcoming environment for homeless people. Like we roll out the red carpet,
right?
As far as I'm concerned, because we live in a poor community, and
right.
So you have poor people that are seeing themselves one check away from being in that situation. We all are,
right?
And then you have a very liberal white community in Birmingham that, as long as it ain't on their front porch, they're all about leaving those the unhoused alone. But that leaves them wandering our communities. That leaves them driving our property values down. And I don't want to get into a bashing thing here, but there's another side to the story,
Yeah. But it's been several reports that Hoover, Vestavia, Mountain Brook, they're taking them from over there and dropping them off over here. The police departments are. You heard about that?
I've heard the same thing.
I can't substantiate it because I've never seen it. But
I've never
everybody
seen it,
but
I've heard about it a long time.
Everybody ain't lying.
Everybody ain't lying.
No, everybody ain't lying. Now,
but here again, that just goes to show those communities are not welcoming environments for that. That's not to say that there aren't people in need in over the mountain communities. There are people in need everywhere. Heck, right. I'm in need. If somebody wants to help me out,
I need some help too.
But the truth of the matter is, I don't want to say most, I don't want to say certain percent, but we all know that there's a great number of unhoused people that want to be there. They don't want.
There you go. Want to be there.
They want to be there. They don't want to conform to any type of church program,
right?
Health program, government program, whatever the case may be. They don't want to do that.
Right.
And so when you have people who either through mental illness or drug dependency who don't want to conform, then basically as a family, as a neighborhood, as a community, we're basically saying, hey, government, we can't deal with our family member. You deal with it. Is that fair?
Right.
These are things that families should be able to take care of with themselves.
And the thing about it, I've talked to many people about this, people that's in the service industry of helping the unhoused people. So I found out the majority of them get checks. They don't want to be held accountable. But us in the communities think that, hey, we need to do something about it. Well, the first step in help is realizing that you got a problem. But if you don't want no help and they trying to help you, now you're trying to help them acts are futile and far between because they don't want help. When they get cold, they go to the bout well. They eat every day.
The thing is, what I don't like is we want to hold, be it the mayor, the governor, the president, right, the whomever. We want to hold those people responsible for things that we should be policing ourselves.
Right.
I don't care if we talking about litter. I don't care if we talking about
see, there you go, start.
Homeless people. At the end of the day, you want to fuss at the mayor for the neighborhood being trashy, but you saw your neighbor throw that trash out there. Why didn't you say something to your neighbor? Same thing applies to, I mean, we could go on and on about subjects that we want to hold our, look at our school system. We want to talk bad about the school system, but we're not doing anything to help the school system. We're not preparing our children to be able to read. And then when they can't read at grade level, we want to fuss at the school system. But you sent that baby to school unprepared. You sent that baby to school hungry, or whatever the case may be. It's just time that we start having some personal responsibility here instead of blaming somebody else. It's always somebody else's fault.
You know what? I'm gonna just say this. From the point when me and you was in high school to the point now, one fact that I know to be true. When me and you were in elementary school and even high school, our teachers were fresh from the civil rights era, right or wrong.
Yeah.
They were fresh. So they had a calling to make sure that we didn't go through what they just beat. We still going through it, but they made sure we were prepared to go out in the world. Even going to a job interview. Some days we had to dress up like we was going to a job interview, and they were questioning us like we were on job interviews. Now, the parents of the day, they don't do that. And I don't think it's because they don't want to. I think it's because they haven't seen what it looked like. And that might be wrong, but they just haven't seen what it looks like. Our race going to hell in a handbasket. It's going fast. I ain't gonna shoot cool shit. Nope. Pulling up at the school with the kids in the car. You smoking weed, you need to go to prison for 14 years in a day. I'm gonna stand by that. I ain't gonna even call his name. He put a bill out there that's gonna die. He's already dead. But I bagged that bill, but it's ramifications that come behind that that also get parents in trouble. For instance, when I was in high school, my folks didn't drop me off. I walked up to the hills of school. I used to smoke my weed, me and my whole crew. So if the teacher smelled weed on me in that classroom, my mama don't smoke, my dad don't smoke, my grandma, granddad, nobody in the whole house smoke. Because my parents need to be responsible for me and go to jail because I smell like weed. See, that's why that bill died. And I ain't gonna talk no more about it. But I feel like we have been accustomed to believe most of what's seen on social media to make our lives a norm, when in fact, it's killing our race. We got people out here. I'm gonna tell you what, I'll give you an example. I was sitting there talking to a kid the other day. He said, you gotta get this fresh gear. I said, what fresh gear? He showed me a sweatshirt he bought for $1,500. I'm like, bro, you 21 years old with a $1,500 hoodie? That's why our values are. We value, everything is valued in money now. Relationships, everything is valued in money. You can't save if you're spending $1,500 on a damn hoodie. I just went off on a tangent, pie. But
it's so true. It's like, man, our priorities are just so jacked up.
Boy.
Our priorities are just so jacked up.
And the sad part about it, you're a parent, I'm a parent. These are our damn kids. Where did they get it from? Or did they get it from us? Social media has taught it to them. That's the big influencer. Social media. But let's get off these black folks. Because these black folks gonna hang us tonight. If we don't start talk about these niggas in Birmingham. Hey, let's move on to Jasmine Crockett, man.
Man,
what you think about Jasmine Crockett?
That's moving. Hey, that's just as bad.
Yeah, it is.
Man, because I'm still trying to figure out, why did people think she was gonna win?
I don't know.
I mean, did you think she had a chance?
Nope.
No, man.
What? Okay,
Jasmine Crockett got the same. I mean, Doug Jones got the same chance as Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, by the same chance. But you know what? I'm gonna say this just like I said in the mayor's race. We had 7, 8 people running for mayor in Birmingham. Who told them to run? Who the hell is Yolanda Flowers? Who is Yolanda Flowers? She ain't got the money to even put gas in her car.
I'm talking about now, like Will Boyd, for example. Will Boyd is from all intents and purposes, what I can tell, a very intelligent person running a great campaign.
Right.
He is what y'all think Chig Martin is.
Right.
But he ain't got no money to get his name out there.
Right.
And he in the way of Doug Jones anyway. You know what I'm saying? Doug shouldn't have to spend any money in the primary if he was to have a chance at Tommy Tuberville. I mean, it's not gonna happen.
No,
it's not gonna happen.
No,
I'm gonna vote for him too, but it's not gonna happen.
Nope, and they don't cost me no money to vote for him. But he don't have the money. You know what? Let's just be real, bro. More white folks in Alabama than the black folks. It's simple math. It's simple. Now that you brought that up, I saw something you said. You said Alabama is a super majority GOP state. That one made my eyes jump because I thought maybe if Mississippi flipped, maybe we had a chance to flip, but I'm still holding my breath on that. You say there will never be an Alabama Democratic Party governor, senator, no other statewide office ever. So given the fact that you're not going to be a Democrat, who are y'all suggesting is better for black folks than elected Republicans like Governor Kay Ivey, Katie Britt? You know, talk to me about that.
Let's I want to teach 2 lessons simultaneously with that.
Okay.
Right? Let's look at the Alabama legislature, and let's look at, even though these are 2 different branches of government, the Supreme Court of the United States.
Okay.
Now, the reason I bring up the Supreme Court is, you know how they're talking about packing the Supreme Court right now. If we're to see a shift and the Democrats are in power, they're talking about packing the courts. That's because it will take so long. Let's just say we get a Democratic president, we get a Democratic Congress, it is so hard to replace a Supreme Court justice that this shift, this 6-3 split is going to be there forever. Well, I won't say that forever, but it's going to be very hard for the Congress. I'm sorry, for the deaths and retirements on the Supreme Court would have to happen. Like Trump got lucky and put 3 people on the court.
Right.
You would have to have a Democrat president to look up and put 3 on the court. And that's just unheard of.
Right.
So people are talking about packing the court. Now, what does that have to do with the state legislature? We have a supermajority there. So they are codifying things in law right now in preparation that if there's ever a simple majority by Democrats, it would take 2/3 of the Senate, which it'll never happen here in Alabama because of our industry, because of our culture, because all of these, we don't have enough people moving in to make these shifts. And so all of that was a precursor to me talking about the importance of voting and the importance of people in rural areas, right? This is not a message for urban Black people who live in urban areas. Democrats are all you see around you. Do what you do. I know y'all care who's on the, who gets sent to Montgomery and all that. I could care less.
Okay.
A Democrat is a Democrat as far as I'm concerned. But if you live in suburban Alabama, where you may be 2 or 3 of the only Black people in the community, if you live in rural Alabama, where you are definitely the only Black person or the only blue vote in your community, why not vote in the Republican Party as a moderate? You're throwing your vote away otherwise. And the only way we're going to see a state legislature, a United States Congress, and a Supreme Court that represents a larger number of the people, the only way you're going to see that is to shift from MAGA to moderate.
Right.
Because switching all the way blue is just not, that's not in the conversation right now. Not here in Alabama. And like I said, I don't think it ever will be. Because people ain't beating the doors down to come to Alabama.
No, they're not. What is Alabama?
Our best and brightest are leaving after they finish school here.
Because of the makeup of the state.
Because of the racism.
Right. Right.
I mean, let's keep it real.
I agree with it. But
and a person like me, I feel trapped in the middle sometimes. People like you feel trapped in the middle, I'm sure. Yeah. Because on the one hand, I'm fighting against racist white people. And then on the other hand, I'm fighting dummies of my own people.
We fighting Black folks.
Yeah, and so
call a spade a spade.
Like people who move to Hoover, people who move to Calera, take their family somewhere, safer. We can talk about segregation in the past all day long. I mean, the worst thing that ever happened to us is our best and brightest leaving the community and moving to these over the mountain areas, these nicer areas.
Right.
I ain't mad at it, but that's how and why the urban Black community is suffering and spiraling out of control and spiraling downward, because every time the talent makes it, they leave. And you just can't blame them for doing that.
You know what? Over the past year, I just looked at how much this just in the Democratic Party. How many of them are willing to cut each other's back out? It don't make sense to me. It just don't make sense. Will Boyd, like you said, he'll be the number 2 in this election. He ain't got no money. And when you put Tuberville up against what's his name, he ain't got no money. Tuberville sitting at damn near $9 million in his war chest. I don't understand it. Money gonna win. Now, what I would hope would happen right now at this point, the Republican Party voted to keep Tuberville in after a challenge from another Republican. Yeah, they say his qualifications meet as far as, homestead, all that kind of stuff. That's a private vote. It ain't got nothing to do with the state of Alabama. Now, if he wins the nomination, that's when the state of Alabama can get involved in it, because Republicans know who they want to run against Doug Jones. But if the state of Alabama gets in this and say he's not qualified to run, are the Republican Party, is the Republican Party in jeopardy, or are they just going to stick to the script?
I honestly believe that, first of all, it ain't going to happen. I just don't believe it's going to happen because of this state and the Supreme Court of the state, which will eventually, things will go to, they're going to rule in favor of the party. But just to, argue the case, if that were to happen, $9 million, along with the fact that he is a sitting United States senator,
right?
He could have a write-in campaign and still win.
Hey, but how's he going to establish residency? That's really what I was asking. The residency part is the part that everybody's banking on. That's a Republican and Democrat, that they can prove that he didn't live in. I've seen some documents out there.
Now, first of all, yes, he is not a resident here. Okay. Right. But now, let's just say, for shits and giggles, he gets kicked off the ballot.
Okay.
Do you think that these MAGA rednecks are gonna say, "Oh, well, since he's not on the ballot, I can't write his name"? They gonna write his name in
or don't vote
and make it go before the courts. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Look, that hillbilly finna be the governor. I'm telling you. He finna be the governor, period. Now, hey, that don't mean that I'm not gonna pull that lever for Doug Jones.
Right. So what you saying, Doug Jones already won. Ain't no need all this other stuff going on.
Man, it's a waste of time. And when and back to when you read what I said,
right?
I wanna use. Well, let's talk about all of them. As a matter of fact, let's go with the governor, right? When people talk about how much they can't stand the governor, well, people in my circles, at least,
mine too.
None of y'all voted for her,
right?
She's not trying to make you happy. I mean, right. That ain't how that works. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Now,
You just told me that's
and I'm
not
gonna
how
tell
that
you
works.
the whole reason I started really considering strongly joining the Alabama Republican Party was because I remember when who was that running against? Oh, when Robert Bentley was running against Greg Byrne,
Right.
in the primary, and at that time, I remember correctly, it was Paul Hubbard.
Yeah, Paul
Got
Hubbard.
all of the Democrats, the
All of them.
AEA Democrats, to vote in the Republican primary. That's how we got Bentley instead of Byrne, and everybody was terrified of Byrne. Well, that's the same thought process and the same strategy that I'm remembering when I talk about how it's a lot of Democrats, there's a lot of people who vote Democrat that strategically you're throwing your vote away.
Right.
And I'm in the middle there. Like I lean far more conservative than I lean liberal. But
Me too.
I'm not MAGA. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when I look at the alternative to Kay Ivey, that's why I'm a fan of hers, because, you know, with somebody else, you gonna see the difference when Tuberville get in here. Y'all remember how we laugh about the fact we missed George Bush after Donald Trump? Now we all think George Bush wasn't so bad. It's gonna be the same way with Meemaw and Tuberville. Right. Once Tuberville get in there, y'all gonna see Meemaw wasn't so fucking bad. Excuse my language.
And Tuberville main target is Birmingham.
Yeah.
He wants to kill us. In other words, he wants to do everything because I guess Huntsville, the Madison County area, they're paying him. It's a strong place. Mobile.
And then look at my favorite example is Senator Katie Britt.
She's playing both sides of the fence too.
But my point is, you know, to the people who hate Katie Britt, look at what she did for Tuskegee. Look at what she just did for Birmingham Southern. Look at what she's done. It's like we don't like what she says. But and hey, like I wrote, you got every right to, you know, she's one of our elected officials. You have every right to criticize her for what she says and who she supports and whatnot. But let's just keep it real. Why would you go against Senator Katie Britt when people are out here like the Tommy Tubervilles, like the Barry Moores, like the Mo Brookses of the world? That's just crazy to me. And Katie Britt, if you remember, was running against Mo Brooks. Are we saying we would rather have Mo Brooks as our senator than Katie Britt?
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Then you look at friends of mine. Like, you know, I know most people don't know who Caroline Dobson is. But if you care about who the Secretary of State is, if you care about the fact that this is somebody who is a close personal friend of mine, then who's going to be more on your side?
Exactly.
It's the same way when, and traditionally, I want to be sure I say this. Traditionally, I would be voting for Will Boyd in the primary. Right?
I'm
because
gonna vote for him in the primary. I'm gonna vote for him in the primary. And the only reason I'm gonna vote for him in the primary because I know he don't stand a chance. I just want his numbers to look good.
And see, that's the only reason I'm voting for Doug. Because I know national Democrats are gonna let Will Boyd down. Let's just say he was to get the nomination. National Democrats would let Will Boyd down. However, if Doug's numbers look decent enough, what I'm hoping is that national Democrats, remember he is a former senator,
right?
Hopefully national Democrats will get behind him and start sending some money. Because going back to the post about the money that you're gonna bring up,
Right.
you know, where you already brought up, you know, you're talking about a $9 million. How much was it? The difference between.
I'm gonna show you. Okay, cash on hand. Tuberville, $8,322,841. Doug Jones, 908,000. I'm just saying some change. So we talking about well over $7 million a head.
And see, national Republicans are already getting behind Tommy Tuberville. That's what you see there in those numbers.
Right.
Doug is only getting money from people who know and love Doug.
Right. So we're talking about a whole hell of a different tax base supporting Tuberville.
That's another thing. We're talking about
basically grassroots supporting Doug Jones.
If I had to guess, I'll be honest, I haven't looked at his financial reports, but I would assume it's a bunch of attorneys on there.
Right. Hey, why doesn't the Alabama Democratic Party support nobody? Who they pushing?
And I could care less, to be honest. Like, I cannot stand the Alabama Democratic Party. I have not been able to stand them for quite some time now. And I really couldn't answer. I don't think, all right, like when I was involved with the Democratic Party, they weren't raising money for their candidates. They weren't getting out there doing actual work out, you know, knocking on doors, doing all the things, phone banking. I did not see the type of support for Democrat candidates, especially judges, those running for statewide office. No, those people have to raise there is no reason to be a Democrat in the state of Alabama. You got to do it all yourself anyway. There's no support.
You don't need you be independent.
Hey, why offend half of the state by running for Democrat when you can be a Republican and at least have the attention? Well, I won't say half the state, 3/4 of the state of the voters in the state vote Republican.
Well, we already know Birmingham, Mobile, and Montgomery. That's your Democratic strongholds. But just like with Jasmine Crockett, she got beat by the same voting tactic. Donald Trump showed them how to do it. Don't worry about the big cities. You go to the country and you talk to the people in the country because they far number more voters than these major cities. What do you think about that? You got a plan.
Well, that's exactly what happened with Trump first and second.
Yeah.
Well, all 4 times he ran.
Right.
He relied on that strategy.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you what was funny. I thought about this after Trump beat Hillary Clinton. I was doing a lot of traveling in the country at that time.
Right.
And I remembered seeing Trump signs everywhere. And it threw me off because, you know,
you wondering why?
Yeah, I couldn't remember who else was running. It was Lindsey Graham and Rubio and all of them. And I'm like, no, that wasn't that election. That was previously. But anyway, I forgot who he was in the primary with, but it was Trump signs everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Now, when here in the city, you ain't see a Trump sign nowhere. Not one.
Nope.
And so when he came sweeping through the primaries, I was, here again, I still didn't believe the hype.
Right.
But after he beat Hillary, that made me look back and like, man, all of these country white folk, these redneck Alabamians, they've been for him for a long time, boss. For a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go here. You just named Hillary. We already talked about Crockett. Let's talk about, we've had 3 females that tried to ascend to the highest levels of politics. What's the problem? I don't care how good they are. I don't care. America is not going to vote for a black woman to lead the country. What do you think about that?
I think you're wrong. I think this country ain't going to vote for a black or a white woman.
There you go. Okay. Hillary's number 1. Hillary started off.
Exactly.
Hillary
showed you they wasn't going. Hillary showed you they wasn't going to vote for you. They wasn't going to vote for a female.
Right.
And then they super proved it with Kamala Harris. And for her to even be considering getting back on the Democratic primary ticket is super selfish, because that is going to
take away.
These people wouldn't have gone so crazy if we didn't have a black president. The whole reason we have Trump is because of Obama.
Yep.
It absolutely drove them up the wall. So the safest thing to do, in my opinion, is to now I really think Democrats need to go Gavin Newsom, in my opinion.
I'm with you on Gavin Newsom. I'm with you on Gavin Newsom.
I really think they should go with Gavin Newsom. But personally, I like Andy Beshear in Kentucky a little more. He's a little more centrist than me, but I mean than Gavin Newsom. But here
his
again,
last name gonna knock him out the box.
I don't think Democrats can get. I don't think Newsom can get enough Democrats inspired, because he got a lot of baggage. So he's not going to inspire a lot of people, but he'll definitely inspire more people, in my opinion, than Andy Beshear. I think Josh Shapiro will be more inspirational than Andy Beshear. But when it comes to the general election, more moderate Republicans would vote for Andy Beshear than they'd vote for a Gavin Newsom.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Right. I agree. I mean, you. Only reason I'm agreeing because what you're saying is in black and white.
I know it is, but I like to say in my opinion.
Okay. Now, we talked about Thomasville and Doug Jones. If Georgia, the state of Georgia, last election cycle, and Mississippi now, Mississippi's a blue state now. What's the problem with Alabama? Because I know the dynamics of not Birmingham, but Alabama and Mississippi are almost one and one.
No, there are more black people in Mississippi.
You think?
There are more black people in Mississippi
than white.
And they had an amazing organizational effort.
Okay. Which is
something that, here again, the Democrats here don't do. I say this all the time, and black people know this, but we tend to forget it. you know, it's racist white Democrats too now.
Right.
I mean, there's a ton of. Look at Chig Martin. You know, so
he's gonna be hard to beat too.
Who gonna be hard to beat?
Chig. In the primary, not the state.
You think he gonna be hard to beat by Doug?
No, I'm gonna take that back. I retract my last statement. I retract. Yeah. Now Chig ain't gonna beat it. No, my bad.
It should pan out. Dr. Will Boyd in 3. Second, and Chig Martin in 3rd.
Yeah.
Will Boyd, I mean, just like you just said, it's a lot of black folk that's gonna vote for Will Boyd, especially black men.
Yeah.
Now, older black men are gonna vote for Doug, all because of the 16th Street bombing stuff.
Right.
You know, they have
court case.
Yeah, there are a lot of, you know, particularly black Alabamians who, you know, he won their hearts and minds forevermore with, you know, with that court case.
Right. Yeah, that's but the older ones that remember
but
that.
Our age and younger will strongly, you know, consider and vote for Dr. Will Boyd, in my opinion. But the problem is turnout is going to be, here again, dismal. It's no, you know, even though it's the midterms, there's no president on the ticket. There may be a slight uptick in the general election when it's Doug versus Tuberville, but
right,
it's just we just don't have the turnout. I mean, we just really don't have the turnout to even make it close.
Well, let me change the subject just a little bit, and we're gonna have a little fun with this. I'm wondering why when I passed your house last night, I saw Jermaine Jamal on in your front yard. Can you elaborate on that, Mr. Williams?
Jermaine Jamal
running for governor out of Montgomery.
Jermaine Brown.
Yeah. And your dog was taking a piss on the side.
Hey, the only sign in my yard is Sheriff Mark Pitway. So he got a shout out. That's the only sign in my yard.
Hey, that's Alabama's finest comedian.
Man, let me tell you something. If you ought to just, I know you have. I mean, some of the comments under his foolery, in my opinion, like people really gonna vote for that young man.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I mean, they will talk shit with your ass, excuse my language, but they will go in if you talk against him. Like, man, we lost. I'm telling you, these young folk lost, boss.
When I saw he had shot up to 100,000+ followers, that's when I said he's getting serious.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if it's going.
Those are not voters. Huh? Those are not voters.
Okay.
Those are not voters.
I'm sitting here looking at 100,000, but they doing it for the shits and giggles.
They think it's funny.
It's funny as hell. You know what? I be looking at this page here once or twice a week. He don't talk about it. He ain't talking about the election. He talking about these hoes. That's all they talk about. And I'm trying to figure out. Hey, this is my favorite one. He's standing in front of the Capitol, and then he got another one. He's standing in front of the governor's house. Well, he did his hands like this right here. He said, on Fridays, we're going to have fish fries. We're gonna smoke a lot of weed in the governor's mansion. I'm saying a lot. He got 1 million views on it. Hey, and people think he's gonna have a party every Friday, and that's what they're gonna do. And
man,
a lot of people taking them serious.
First of all, the fact that they want to do that at all, it tells me
and
everything I need to know of these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, it's one person that I just, and I'm gonna stick with my guns. I just refuse to talk about him, man.
Right.
He's not serious. Like,
right.
and I don't think that he deserves our attention. I just really don't.
I don't think so either. We show funny.
It ain't funny to me.
It's like, funny, man. Hey, it ain't funny that he's
energy,
in a
that
role.
Energy could be used to get people to voting. You know what I'm saying? Like educating people on issues and whatnot. You know, I used to feel the same way about some of the local activists and whatnot. It's like, these people are looking for views, man. They're not really trying to change anything.
Right.
And that's evidenced by their content. If he was serious about being governor, he would take it serious. I'm gonna say one last reference to him. He would take this opportunity to educate people. I'm gonna just say that. But I don't think that's what he's doing it for. I think he's doing it for the laughs. I think he's not taking himself as seriously as a lot of people are.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I can't. Hey, 3.14. This is what I need you to do. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. Ran for mayor. He's from the Inslee district. Has a lot of businesses in the Inslee district. What's his name? And all his property. Rice. Chris Rice.
Brian Rice.
Huh?
Brian K. Rice?
Yeah, that's his name. That's his name, Rice. I've never seen commercial property being valued at $0. How can that happen?
That's on the banks.
It's on the bank.
I mean, literally, your property is whatever somebody is willing to loan to you.
Right.
So, you know, let's just say I bought a property for $20,000 from somebody.
Right.
That doesn't mean the bank got to, loan me $20,000.
Okay.
That just means that's what I paid for that piece of land.
Right.
The bank may come back and say, I'm not willing to loan you a single dime on that because we don't believe in that area, which is what happened to him. And so when people, well, let me just say, I think, here again, I haven't talked to him. I ain't talked to the mayor. That guy was irrelevant to me. But my understanding is that, here again, when the banks failed to do what he thought they should do, then he turned to the government to fill in that gap. And when the city wasn't willing to step in and fill that gap, now all of a sudden the mayor is to blame, or the city council is to blame. And here again, no, you should have investigated what you could get on that property before you bought it, because it's not the city of Birmingham's responsibility to bail you out. Right. You put your mind on it, then do your research. Exactly.
We're gonna circle the train. We're gonna circle the block right quick. Tell me how much you love LaShonda Scales.
Man. Funny enough, me and LaShonda Scales was this, boss.
Right.
her father mentored me. Yeah. And to this day, I got love for Scales. But here again, you know, and with Scales and Gavan, like I happen to know so much of what was going on with them at that time.
At that time, you're right.
Because they were trying to navigate through me. You know what I'm saying? So They were talking to me, feeling me out, that kind of stuff. And, you know, I told Scales, I said, don't lie on it. Don't lie on it. Long as you, and she said she was not going to. And, you know, when she started lying on him, the gloves came off. Now, I will say this about both of them. But I'll stay on topic. You want to talk about Scales? You know.
Yeah, you can split call that. Are we going there next?
Well, the thing is, you know, there was a time. Well, I'm gonna say this a different way. There was a time where I supported Wandalin.
Right.
I've always had a problem with Scales' style.
Okay, ghetto.
You know, me communicating with her one-on-one was not a problem because we're friends, we chatting, and you know, there's no power dynamic there. But her in what I will call an inability to communicate with people, and I think I'm in a perfect position to call it because I know how I am myself.
Right.
Like I know what I'm looking at. And you know, her inability to communicate with people has just gone on long enough. You had a problem with what, 3 mayors? They had a problem with county commission people you work with. You know, it ain't everybody else. And I just feel that she has done some great things for her community, particularly with the kids and in the schools and whatnot. But it's time to have elected officials who are on the same page, moving in the same direction, and who have the same set of priorities. Now, if you don't like the direction that, you know, if you don't like what the county is doing, if you don't like if they're not doing enough, let me say it this way. And I'm not trying to bring any other commissioners in on this, but the Jefferson County Commission spends way too much money on stuff in the community that's going to make poor people happy and reelect them, instead of doing things that will build the county. So
what you saying, like the little hot dog hamburger
and the
giveaways,
concerts, and the know, the Magic City Classic, this in the spring, that ain't what tax dollars are for.
No,
that is not what tax dollars are for. And I'm the same way as it relates to the city of Birmingham, the mayor, the city council. I'm just not for that stuff. No. I'm just not for it. And so when you look at Scales, you know, like I said, all kudos on what she does in the schools. But what else has she done?
I tell you what else she done. And it's major. She put the mayor on a hidden mic telephone call and tried to expose him. He talked about titties. And that made her look so bad. Ain't no way in hell I get a call from her and say, I can't talk to you right now. I call you back. I'm gonna get my hair braided. Can't do it. Can't do it. I mean, you
Do
are
you know
a
who
public...
told me that first?
Huh?
Do you know who told me about that first?
Who?
She did.
She did?
She did.
Damn.
I'm telling you, that's how close and how much we will communicate. We were sitting in the car over there by Redmont, and she told me how she had said that to the mayor and how she, felt that he wasn't respecting her and that he wasn't, he needed to do more for her than everybody else. I mean, literally, she told me that.
Other members. Yeah.
So I know for a fact that happened.
Wow. How can we trust her with a vote?
Man, I just here again. Let me flip it a little bit, right? The person running for that seat, the person running against her, has been a model city councilor. He has been a model champion for that district. He has not only
who running against her? I forgot. I know who it is.
Clinton Woods.
Oh, Clinton. Clinton. Yeah.
Not only does he have the education, not only has he been instrumental in the city's growth, he has grown at the what do you call it? The sheriff's department. He's a sheriff's deputy, reserve deputy. I mean, he's been everything that you could ask for in a city councilman. And I think that it's time for him to get more responsibility. I think he would be an outstanding commissioner for District 1. I think that here again, Scales it's just time. It's
and then you forgot he's Rep. Abraham Woods' grandson.
Yeah.
So he got good lineage.
He got the pedigree, beautiful wife, beautiful children. I mean, just check out his social media. I really don't know how he does it all, to be honest.
I talked to him. He gave me a call. He asked me to help him out if I could, and I'm gonna do it.
Well,
I'm gonna do it.
I haven't had the chance to talk to him, but he got to take my help whether he wanted or not.
Right. Clinton Woods, you my man.
Yeah.
Let's change it. Let's change it. We don't need no career politicians in Birmingham or Alabama, in my opinion. Especially when you ain't doing right.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I'll be putting out more as far as that's concerned.
Okay. Okay.
I will be number one. I want to invite people to look at my Jefferson C. Ivor page, because on there we've already posted some did you knows about Wandalin Gavan, some did you knows about LaShonda Scales, and if you need the supporting references for you to look that stuff up is right there, and I'll send you whatever you need. But I encourage people to look and read for themselves how these people have voted and how these people have behaved behind the scenes on your tax dollars.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy because me and you, we've been knowing each other a long time, man. And
Yes,
it's crazy that we've ended up in the same atmosphere, because that one we wasn't at this one. We wasn't right here in Miles College. We wasn't talking about this.
No, we was getting hot. Having fun.
Having
being wild.
All Hey, all that Paul West, MC Breed, and all. What his name was, Quick. We followed Quick in the back door, bro. Whoever Quick knew, we want to know him too.
Man, and the funny thing is, I wouldn't trade those days for the world. Right. But if I had it to do over again, what you didn't know, and what I've always been a political nerd. And so instead of partying so hard, I would have been pouring more energy into this and a different trajectory. But that is in God's hands. He made us who we are, right? And brought us back to this conversation at a time where we have the maturity and the wisdom to really flesh it out, right? And look at both sides and see the top and bottom of things, and then come to a conclusion.
Hey, this is what I want y'all to do. Y'all look up Jefferson and see Ivor's page. Y'all subscribe, give him a like. He does a lot of stuff that'll have your head looking like, damn, because he's connected. I ain't gonna lie on him. He's connected. He know people. Katie Britt be at his house cooking Sunday dinners and dropping them off to him and all this shit. She right now. Doug Jones know it folks too. Doug Jones know Ivor. Everybody that knows somebody know Ivor. I'm telling you, subscribe to this page. I'm telling you right now, it's better than Birmingham Times. It's better than AL.com. I'm telling you right now. If you look at this page, you're gonna find something. Hey, Mr. Ivor, 3.14 Williams. Let's close.
22 divided by 7.
22 over 7. Hey, how did you get that? How did you get the nickname Pie?
I ain't telling that one.
Okay. But we're gonna close this out today, and I'm gonna drop some links on every subject that we talked about, so you don't have to watch all hour and a half of this. I'm gonna drop some clips on it. So we love you, and you know what? We don't even care if you don't love us back, because we don't give a damn no way. But we just doing content.
I want them to love me back.
Hey, he's content creator. I'm content creator. And what we try to do, we just try to bring our people to real. All this old hypocrisy, left and right. You know what? 2207. One more thing. What you think about Trump bombing that country, bombing Iran?
I have mixed feelings.
I do too.
I have mixed feelings.
I do too.
I do not overlook the fact that Iran has been a thorn in America's side
forever.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
And there is a part of me that looks at our president's actions, as reckless,
right?
Possibly illegal. And if nothing, un-American. But our other presidents have been too decent to do some of the stupid crap that this president has done, and so it makes me kind of look the other way. I'm not gonna lie, but I have to say it's wrong. I have to say that war is wrong. I have to say that America's desire to force democracy on other societies is wrong. Who are we to say that democracy is right for a country that has never had democracy.
Right.
And there are so many countries that are fighting that idea.
And they've been fighting for 400 years.
Man, what? And so it's like, you know, I don't care if it's a congressman, a senator, or somebody, you know, that lives next door to me. It's not our will that should be forced on people all over the world,
right?
Because of what we believe.
Right.
They believe in what they believe just as strongly as we believe in what we believe.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But you know what? When I saw that we bombed that school with them children in it,
man,
ain't nothing good gonna come to us from that. It's impossible for something good to come from that. Impossible. We cannot win this war with an airplane, with a boat. We're gonna put our people on the ground, and we cannot win that war. Not in a country of 90 million people that believe death before dishonor. You love God, I love God, and everybody, all my friends love God. But we don't love God like they love Allah over there. we don't, hey, Allah tell
God,
Allah
God don't tell me to bomb nobody, but no. Allah be telling them to bomb the hell out of us.
Yeah. See, young people, hey, just like in the when they bombed New York and the Pentagon, and back then, them folks got ceremonial treatment before they went out and killed themselves. That's an honor. Ain't nobody finna fly no plane until we know the high school and kill nobody. We ain't finna do that. We ain't finna fly
to the Masonic temple.
And guess what? When they did that, when they started bombing, the first act was from a black guy in Austin, Texas, with an Iranian shirt up on his hoodie. When it shot 15 people, killed 3. But how many more sleeper cells are there around in the United States? Because it's a lot of Iranians in the United States. And everybody ain't singing and dancing their praises.
Man, just the other day, what was that? Yesterday, I saw where the president basically said we got to expect or prepare for something to happen here on the homeland.
Right.
That's stupid. We've never heard conversation like that before. That's insane to me.
Then we got American citizens in the Middle East that can't even damn leave.
Yeah.
Because he didn't give a heads up to what the hell he's finna do. So now they can't leave.
Well, that's not true. That's not true.
Well, they're leaving now, but from the beginning.
No, I'm saying it was 2 carriers sitting off of Iran in the Gulf.
Yeah. For 2 weeks. 2 weeks before. Yeah, you're right. 2 weeks before.
That told your ass everything you needed to know right there.
Yeah.
That was an astounding shift of manpower and technology and ships and planes not to do nothing. That wasn't no bluff. That never was a bluff. And so everybody that got stuck over there was, kind of ignoring the signs, in my opinion.
Well, me and you supposed to be going to Dubai in August. I don't know if there's going to be no Dubai when we get there.
Ain't going to happen. I ain't leaving the country, boss.
I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going
to the country.
They got active wars right now in Africa. They got active wars in the Middle East. They got active wars everywhere. And guess
but more importantly, they got terrorism that could strike anywhere. And I at least would rather be home if it struck.
And guess what? And now China, and you don't never hear China talk about nothing. Now they talking about the U.S. They got their president on there talking about the bombs that they got.
It's a different time, man.
It's a different time, man. I don't know. I bring our boys home. We not really lost. What we lost about 3 pilots, but they safe. We lost six military people right now. You know what? We on the military. What good is a Coast Guard center going to do over there off the interstate by Legion Field and Cottage Hills? Now, this is what I like about it. When Katie Britt cut the deal, she made Miles College inclusionary with that deal. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, let's break down what it stopped.
Okay.
And that is a blighted, however many acre site right in the middle of the heart of Birmingham that could have potentially been an eyesore and a money pit to preserve it, to keep it up. It's, it's hard to fill a gap.
Right.
And the fact that, the entire, from Katie Britt on down to Mayor Woodfin and everybody in between, keeping that place viable, and the president over there, keeping that place viable and actively looking for a solution is huge. Right. Now let's look at what it does. Not only did they bring in something that, or an organization or a project that could fill the gap.
Right.
But they're bringing in a training facility that's also going to add jobs to the community.
I think they said,
I'm sure there are going to be stores and food places that pop up over there. I mean, the economic boost is just, they're only beginning to measure how much that's going to be. And then, just the pride that, we get to have in having, because what a lot of people don't realize, that will be considered a military base. Mm-hmm. And the pride that we will have in having our young men and women serving the country, doing so, training right here in Birmingham. I mean, anybody that's against this is just wanting something to be pessimistic about, because I honestly can't see anything bad.
You know what? I've seen podcasts from different content creators. Ain't no water around here. Well, I call you a lie. Because
what they think Birminport is.
Exactly. Birminport is about 15 minutes away. Yeah. That's perfect training. This not going to be a military base. It's going to be a training facility. And they can go right down to Birminport. Listen, you was in the Navy, right?
Yep.
Ain't Orlando got a base, a naval base without no water around there? Ain't no water in Orlando, but they got a training base.
That's right. That's right. So, and I didn't even know anybody had made that comment. But
wait a minute, hold on. 3.14. They saying primarily what they're thinking is this gonna be a home for ICE. And I don't believe that. Yeah, they're trying to cut ICE out right now. I don't think ICE gonna be around another year or two.
Yeah, ICE gonna be around, but this is not. And here that, that's, in my opinion, this is an example of, that negativity that people just want to spread.
Nigga
Like,
shit.
you know, like, who even thought of that? Like,
yeah,
they're going to. I'm getting to the point where I don't even want to address that stuff, man.
right,
It's like,
right.
you know, I'm sad that people like that have people listening to them. That's
Man,
really pathetic.
right, right,
And not to know what's in your own city and
right,
your own city's. If people were paying attention to the news, here again, a lot of this stuff you see in retrospect. Go
right.
back and check the news for the past, I'd say maybe 2 months, on what they're doing at Birmingport.
Oh yeah, it's about to be big. It's about to be
And
big.
in retrospect, it all
Yeah,
makes sense. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? They're
It's about to be
dredging
big.
the port. That's obviously to allow bigger boats to come in there for
Right,
training for the Coast Guard.
right,
But when you don't know anything and get all of your information off somebody's podcast,
right,
that's including me or you,
right,
then you're basically just believing anything somebody tells you.
right. That's all it is.
But there is a paper trail, if you will. There is a obvious preparation of Birmingport that's been going on in collaboration for months now.
For a few years now.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's 269? I think it's 269 to get to Birmingport. But the economic impact that it's gonna have, now you're gonna have people developing housing areas around there. You're gonna have $1 million houses down there. It ain't gonna be long.
Exactly. I mean, this is huge.
Right. So I don't know, Pi. Shoot. I think we need to get out of our own way and let stuff just be, instead of having to conversate on it. Because I don't see it being a bad deal to put a Coast Guard training facility over there. But you know what? By the same token, when I just talked about economic impact. The day that they up that base, the houses in Cottage Hills will probably go up 30 to 50% easily. Not even, I mean, Bush Boulevard too. All over there is, you know what though? Then you're gonna have some people say it's gonna drive them people out of their own homes.
Yeah, well, I think that's first of all, I think you're only going to be looking at maybe a 15 to 20% bump.
Okay.
I think that's a bit aggressive.
Okay.
And then second, I personally really don't know how to answer that dilemma.
Okay.
Because I do see and understand that our senior citizens who are on a fixed income,
right,
a bump in their property taxes could be, that could change things, right? When you on a fixed income. And so I want to be thoughtful to that.
Right.
But at the same time, you can't hold the growth of the city hostage.
At a certain point in a person's life, when they get over the age, I think it's 65, maybe 70, you begin to be, if you go that route, you can be exempt from property taxes. You got to pay them.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I forgot that Gaynell Hendricks got that law passed. Right. Yeah. And I would hope our legislature and our elected officials would work on tax cuts for middle class and lower income families to be able to stay in their homes. You know, like, it's easy to say, well, why don't they just downsize? You know, I'm sure a lot of older senior citizens are climbing some steps they don't want to climb.
And they don't need
I'm
to climb.
sure a lot of them are taking care of big yards they don't want to take care of. It's cheaper for them to stay at home where, you know, where the house is paid for and all that kind of stuff. You know, you can't easily sell your property for $200,000 and transition to something a little smaller in different. No, it don't work like that.
Right.
So, you know,
profit is money.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm sure that if you and I sat here on the Stanley Tarver show for a good another 30 minutes, we could figure that out. So surely people on high pay grades and ours should be able to figure it out too. It's just a matter of priorities and what's important. And when you look at a, you know, since this is where the conversation started, this is where it should end. When you look at a Wandalin Gavan, what laws has she proposed to help people in her community?
I'll wait
all day for that, because I got what laws she's attempted to pass right here in front of me.
Right.
And nothing she has proposed does anything for the homeowners in District 60. Nothing she has proposed has brought businesses to District 60. Nothing she has done has given any type of relief to the people of District 60. However, has she created and constantly fought with not only our mayor, not only our city council, but the president of Miles College, people down at the legislature, insulting the governor, Senator Britt, all the people that she was on that little video yesterday, you know, you would have thought she was a Republican the way she was talking in that video yesterday.
And guess what? She black. And she didn't even vote for Juneteenth, the Juneteenth bill.
Did not vote for the Juneteenth bill. Taking pictures with Kamala Harris, ain't never donated to her campaign. Never donated to Barack Obama.
Right.
I could go on and on. She's a hypocrite.
Right.
She just, you know, she got that, you know, that sister girl following.
You know what?
And I just feel, you know, there was a time where not only was her message on point and necessary, but it was original.
Right, right.
She's saying the same BS now that she was saying then, hasn't brought any change.
Oh.
And the fact that she hasn't brought any change is everybody else's fault but hers.
You know, people often ask me, why do you go after her so hard? Why do you hate her like that? I'm going to say this for the last time. I do not hate that woman at all. I don't know her well enough to hate her. But my hate begins in her decisions as a policymaker, as a rule maker for the state of Alabama. And they just don't align with my black values and a lot of black values that my people know. They just don't align. It's night and day.
Right.
And that's my own problem with Wandalin Gavan. She can talk about me. She can call the FBI on me. The FBI say, keep doing what you're doing. So I just feel like her time gone. And
nobody, you know, I'm going to say this one thing as far as a personal thing. Nobody hears, nobody knows, or they don't care about what Wanderlin says and does.
Right.
Here again, I don't tell my side of the story.
Right.
But mine are reactions to stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I do, reactionary stuff, bro.
I'm reacting. And once you provoke me to react, you can't tell me how to react. You can't tell me what, the rules of engagement are. No. That's not how that works. And so even in the existing, I want to talk about now and future, not ever harboring on the past. But even right now, right this very second, these campaigns are going on. And sadly, if I were to put out, let's just say the work that we've done to research Wanderlin and or Scales, right? If you were to put that out as a long Facebook post, would anybody read it?
Nope. No. You know what?
Now you put some AI with it that, kind of hints at the subject, but you really making it funny. Now everybody wants to look, everybody want to laugh. And unfortunately, that's just the community, the environment, the society we live in. You know what I'm saying? So
we're looking for the negative.
Huh?
We're looking for the negative.
And we looking for the funny. Everybody want to laugh. Everybody, everything a joke to everybody. And if that's the only thing that gets people's attention, then that's how I'm gonna get your attention.
Right. So, well, 22:07. You got any closing statements? We're gonna end this. We're gonna wrap it up right at 2 hours.
Man, I can't even believe we sat out here and did this for 2
this
hours.
This ain't us.
But first of all, I want to say thank you. And I don't even come on people's podcasts. I just don't even do it. So I just wanted to say that, like, we operate in two completely different spaces.
Exactly.
But they intersect quite often.
Right.
And so it was fun having this opportunity to kind of, talk it out, express myself a little bit, and to kind of tell my side of things. And I'll peep the the questions that may come, but hopefully we've made it clear that somebody up pulling up on you.
That UPS passed by my door.
Ring. But I hope people got to hear a little bit of information that they didn't previously have, and I just I appreciate you giving the opportunity to do that, and to tell people to follow me. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So, man, you know what? I don't care what I do. I don't care what you do. I'm not going to charge you for putting out information, because information is better than money to me. And some people gonna get it. I'm gonna charge you $500,000 to get on my show. I'm being honest, but not you. We go back too far. And whatever you want to say is probably going to align with what I think and what I'm going to say. But we got two different platforms, but they basically mirror each other. But the way I'm going to say it, the way you're going to say it, and the people that you have on a different level. The people that I have, they're not so big. But
no, that's not true. I think we both cover a lot of people
right
along the spectrum.
Right.
Right. And that's why I like this opportunity with you. That's why I took this opportunity with you. Why I asked for this opportunity with you, because your audience, I do want to communicate with. I do want to hear my side of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That people that you know that may not be familiar with me, because I know I'm not gonna change. I'm just not gonna say my side. I don't care. I'm
not
really
gonna change.
don't.
Folks want me to
change. Took the opportunity now because it was beneficial. I'm not gonna tell my side of the story, but this opportunity here, I'm glad I took it because of your audience. Because
let me ask you a question.
I know that it's gonna fall on intelligent people and not just folk that want to laugh and talk shit and, oh, he said this about such and such, you know.
Hey, let me ask you a question. How hard would it be to get Tuberville or Doug Jones on my platform?
I'll tell you like this. I think that Doug Jones should and probably would come on your platform if you were to submit this question. And that is, what are his thoughts and plans for Black men? Strictly. Because he has articulated a plan for almost every group. And Black men have proven to be the skeleton key to elections, if you will.
Right.
Because we're not tied to the same things that Black women are tied to.
Right.
Too often, Democrats have assumed and continue to assume that you make the Black woman happy, the Black man will be happy. And that's not necessarily the case.
Right.
So giving him a charge to explain that, talk about that, I think that he should and would come on for that. Tommy Tuberville, here again, we ain't gonna vote for him, so why would he come on?
Right. Well, if anything else you want to say, you can say it now, but we've been in this stream and we're gonna have
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just thank you.
It's nice having you, man.
I want to give a big shout out to Joe Lockett. Y'all
Joe Lockett
to buy his coffee.
Joe Lockett's my man. Hey, Joe Lockett, we're gonna thank Joe Lockett for making this happen.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Peace.